Welcome back to AM Excellence 63, Competitive Excellence. I apologize for the audio technical difficulties, but hey, we're going with it. Competitive Excellence. Now, if you can hear me, shoot a comment. If you can't hear me, I'll be back. So again, we're reading the book. We are reading the book Above the Line, Lessons in Leadership and Life from a Championship Season, written by Urban Meyer, esteemed college football coach. And one thing that resonates in my life that I've learned since the time I was a kid is this idea of toughness. What does it mean to be tough? When you're a kid, you hear, when I was in junior high, I heard this kid's tough, that kid's tough, that kid's tough. Well, toughness doesn't mean anything if it's not built on something. It's an abstract concept. You have to build and you have to develop that toughness, whether you're talking physical toughness or mental toughness. Urban Meyer goes on to say, good, I got confirmation of audio. Urban Meyer goes on to say, here's the not so hidden secret for achieving extraordinary success. Clarify what you really want, then work as hard as you can for as long as it takes. Toughness can achieve things that talent by itself can never accomplish. Toughness can achieve things that talent by itself can never accomplish. Someone asked not too long ago this idea about hard work. What if you just don't like hard work? We actually talked about it on A Fighter's Mindset, the Springer podcast. If you don't like hard work, you're working towards the wrong thing. If all you can think about is the amount of daunting, terrible, undesirable work that's ahead of you, you're working on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the wrong thing. So reassess what you're working towards. He says, success is cumulative and progressive. So I've heard many times, many different places, this idea of you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're living or you're dying. He goes on to say, success is cumulative and progressive. It is the result of what you do every day. Both successful and unsuccessful people take daily action. The difference is that successful people take action above the line. Successful people take action daily above the line, intentional, skillful, on purpose. Unsuccessful people take action below the line, on autopilot, impulsive, and resistant. Had to test my memory there. So now let's get into this idea of toughness. What is toughness? He says, if you want to win in the future, you must win the grind today, and then tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. So I talk often about pushing yourself mentally and physically. And this idea of competitive excellence, as defined by Urban Meyer, is this idea of the drive and the discipline, the burning desire to put in the work today for the chance that you might have the opportunity to perform tomorrow. He says that competitive excellence is that drive and discipline to prepare yourself mentally and physically. Not just physically, but mentally and physically. How are you growing? How are you developing yourself mentally and physically for the chance that when game day comes, you'll be ready to perform? Now that's on a big scale. That's a tangible example there, okay? But let's think, where does mental toughness, where does this training, where does this discipline, where does this being in the moment, how does that function in daily life? I'll give you two prime examples from my life yesterday. I'm building a speaking and mentoring program, career, business, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. I send out a bunch of emails and I don't get responses from a bunch of emails. People don't see it as a priority. That's an obstacle. That's a challenge. The fighter's mindset, the toughness says, whatever, lead me, follow me, or get out of my way, because I am pursuing this goal. I am pursuing this vision of mine. That is toughness. Overcoming those obstacles, challenges, adversity. So it's not just for Urban Meyer and his national championship football team. It's for you and it's for me every single day. Another thing, some of us listening today, I see, some specific names. I know that some of us have children. Others don't have children. Where does this discipline, where does this mental toughness, where does this focusing on the moment, on the task at hand, have to do with you? What's it have to do with your daily life? I'll tell you, from my life yesterday. My wife was at her friend's house. I was at home. My daughter was playing, wanted me to play with her. My son was crying and had to change a diaper. And then my daughter's telling me she's hungry, and then she's on the toilet and she needs change. And there's like 5 of these things going on, these stressful situations going on, where I revert back to my training, my mindset, my mental toughness to stay the course, do what needs to be done, and see the action through. My daughter ended up getting off the toilet. We all ate. We all had a great evening. But it's that daily mental toughness that you've got to develop through physical and mental training. Moving on. He goes on to say, elite performance requires elite preparation. It requires mental and physical reps, and we place a premium on both. Elite performance requires elite preparation. What do you want? You're sitting here at 616. What do you want in your life? Are you working towards a promotion? Are you working towards a family, having a family? Are you working towards a financial level of income? Or do you want to earn $100,000 a year? Whatever that goal is, you've got to understand that you have to prepare. You have to live on a daily basis to even have a chance of achieving that. When I pass away in however many years from now, hopefully a long time, I want my name to be right next to Tony Robbins' name. That's what I want. That's my desire. That's my vision. And on a daily basis, that consistency, that's what I'm working towards. If I never even get mentioned in the same breath as Tony Robbins, so be it. I put in the work. Are you putting in the work? What you want is over here. You are right here. To even have a chance at that over there, you've got to put in the work, the competitive excellence, the daily physical and mental training to even step in the same room as that desired outcome. He says the spirit of a competitor is what separates the elite from the average. We call it competitive excellence. It's about preparing mentally and physically to compete on game day so that when your number is called, you're ready to make a play. Sorry, Kat, I got rid of the hair. So that you're ready to make that play. And I use my experiences as an example because I'd use it whether it was me or whether it was another guy. But on June 26, 2011, I was called. My number was called to fight Rick Story on live national television. Thankfully, I had lived my life to prepare myself for that moment, that competitive excellence. That is the message of what I'm spreading. Whether you win or lose, I don't care. I truly don't care. The message is the work, the journey, the appreciation of that pursuit. Last night, I watch the NFL channel often because the Football Life series and 30 for 30, it's on ESPN, Football Life, or NFL Network. They're awesome stories. And I was watching, there were a couple shows on last night. One was about Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis was a Super Bowl MVP for the Denver Broncos. From where he started to where he got, it shouldn't have happened. It should not have happened. He came from a nowhere town, went to a nowhere school, lucked out, went to Georgia, didn't get along with the coach at Georgia, but his competitive excellence kept him the drive to do the work and the discipline to keep going with it even after setback after setback after setback, enabled him to become a Super Bowl MVP. You don't start at the finish line and then work backwards. You start right here and work to the finish line. He says, Urban Meyer says, people see the remarkable performances of these players on Saturday, but they do not see the tireless work that those players and their unit leaders put into training and preparing to compete. And this is the most important part. The most important part. And they did the work not knowing when or even if their number would be called. They did the work not knowing when or even if their number would be called. That is what enables you to peacefully put your head down at night. Win, lose, draw, not even in the game, doesn't matter. It's doing the work, identifying what you're working towards, then doing the work, then the outcome is the outcome. It's out of our hands. That is the message. That is what I encourage you to take from this video and all of these videos, the previous 62 videos. And lastly, he says, he was talking about another example of a Super Bowl player who wasn't winning, wasn't doing well, just blew a play in the Super Bowl. If you remember a couple years ago, New England versus Seattle, when the for whatever reason they decided to pass rather than run Richard Sherman into the end zone, and this guy ended up having an interception of his life, of his career. He got lucky. No, he didn't get lucky. He put in decades of work to get to that point. This has been AM Excellence 63, Competitive Excellence. I would encourage you all to visit charlie-brenneman.com to learn more about my speaking and mentoring programs, as that's what I'm doing these days. You can see all my AM Excellence videos, get access to all of the A Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard podcast episodes, which I'm about to record. I'm 6 minutes late because of the earlier technical difficulties. About to record the next episode. So I would encourage you all to check that stuff out. charlie-brenneman.com. Use these videos, pass them on to someone else. Get your day started on the right foot, but don't lose the momentum. Keep it throughout the day. Carpe diem, fight well, maintain your competitive excellence, and develop your toughness.